Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got Bert the Hurt over here. You've got Lanny, and we can't wait to talk to you about Bert's favorite article that he likes to write each and every month. And if you're a dividend investor, this is like some of the most exciting times for you, and that's the expected dividend increases for this month of October 2020.
Thanks for that intro, Lanny. Everyone, before we get started, you know the drill by now. Smash that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, please. Our goal is to bring you as much dividend investing news as possible. So every week we're pumping out content to teach you about dividend investing and show you why we are pursuing this route to achieve financial freedom.
And Bert loves to talk about dividend increases. As a dividend stock investor, you buy dividend stocks because you want that dividend income to grow. You want it to go up. So each and every month for the last, 5-6+ years that we've been writing, Bert has religiously written an article about the expectations for the month. What dividend stocks are going to give us that exciting announcement?
Yeah, and the reason why we started this article series is because, look, Laney and I talk about this all the time.
All the time.
We are constantly texting each other. I got a few today about some dividend increases that came through. There's one thing that we're hawking the press releases for every company's investor relations site. It's dividend increases. We're passionate about it, so we want to share that with all of you. Sure, we've been writing about this for six years now, so you know what? We decided to bring it to video too and share it with all of you on our YouTube channel.
So Bert, as a dividend investor, when you look at a dividend stock to buy, what is critically important?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of our metrics of our Dividend Diplomats dividend stock screener. It's the history of dividend growth and dividend increases. We don't just buy a dividend just for the sake of having a high yield. We want to see that dividend grow each and every year. Why? Because look, we all know about inflation. We all know that our purchasing power goes down over time. Just like any income stream you have, any cash flow, you want that to increase and exceed at least inflation. That's why we're watching these dividends to make sure they are growing over time as well.
That's right. I mean, essentially, you want your purchasing power on your income stream to be stronger than the rise in cost of the products that you use every day. Your food, gas, Depends for Bert, your toiletries, all the Zoom credits that Bert's been getting for those Zoom bathroom breaks.
Yeah, all those Stellas for you, Lanny.
You son of a gun. So that's why dividend increases are important. And on the journey to financial freedom, you want that dividend snowball to accumulate faster. Not only does time work on your side and dividend reinvestment, because we all know the power of dividend reinvestment is real. Check the link above to that video. But the power of dividend increases is even more real.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it any better. That's why we live for it. That's why we're going to be living off of it one day too when we achieve financial freedom.
But you're here to hear about the dividend increases that are expected here in the month of October. And Bert is here to talk to you about 5 expected dividend increases this month.
Yeah, this is going to be another exciting month for dividend increases. What we've noticed too, taking a step back to look at what happened in 2020, dividend increases were going along straight. We had the pandemic. A lot of companies froze their dividends, some suspended them, and unfortunately, some even cut their dividends. Obviously, why? Because it was an economic chaos for a little bit. Nobody knew what to expect with their cash flows. Now, things have stabilized a little bit. Companies have had a chance to adjust their balance sheet, their income statement, change their operations. Cash flows are a little more stable and predictable. So coming out of the third quarter now into the fourth quarter, we're seeing companies start to announce those dividend increases once again. September was a great month. October is going to hopefully be even better as more companies start to increase those dividends.
So to get right into the dividend stocks, you know, there's 5 to cover, so we're going to try to squeeze them all here because that's what you're here for. The first dividend growth stock is one of our fun credit card and / card processing companies.
Yeah.
Who is that, Bert?
It is Visa, ticker symbol V. This was actually one of Lanny's very first dividend stock purchases.
I've owned them for almost 10 years, actually. I put exactly $372 in that bad boy back in, what was it, before I met you, but probably 2010, maybe 2009.
Yeah, that would be 10 years ago.
Man, it's getting old over here.
Yeah, I got some more salt in that hair too.
Yeah, son of a gun, man, this guy.
Yeah, but...
He's lucky I'm not even dropping the sweet chin music right now on him. Don't make me tune up the band.
Yeah.
All right, but Visa stock.
Yeah, so Visa is a low dividend yield but a high dividend growth rate stock. Over the last 5 years, they have increased their dividend like crazy. Their 5-year dividend growth, average dividend growth rate is 20% as well, which is just insane to think about.
Amazing.
Imagine if your income grew 20% over a year, or I could tell you what isn't 20% a year, that yield on your savings account. That is much higher than what your cash is earning.
Yeah, and I think our cash savings account is dropping at an equivalent of 20% every month or every quarter at this point.
Thanks, Ally.
Yeah, Alec, come on. High yield, more like boring yield.
Yeah. So what the big question is, what do we expect in 2020? I'm interested to see, especially with the credit card companies, if you think about it, how much commerce has moved online since the pandemic started. Every time you check out, you're paying with credit cards. Visa and MasterCard are top of the class in there, and they're always processing these transactions. So how much has Visa really been impacted by all of this? If anything, has their revenue gone up? Which, who knows, maybe that'll trickle down to the shareholders as well.
And on top of that, as you saw, there was a coin shortage, and people were very afraid to use cash and bills because that's contact. And we're moving into a cashless society here. Mm-hmm. So I know I can look at my wallet. I know I won't find a single bill in there, and it's all a plastic card. And heck,
yeah,
you can use this bad boy. You can load your Visa, debit or credit card on here and just tap and pay.
All right, Lanny, I want to put you on the spot right now. You love predicting the dividend increases. So last year's dividend increase was 20%. Their 5-year average is right around 20%. What do you think this month's going to have in store for us?
I am. Well, all right, so they currently pay 30 cents per quarter, and they usually increase by 20% every year. I'm not going to say they're going to do that. Instead, I'm going to give them a round number, though. I'm going to say they're going to go from 30 to 35 cents. And that's going to be roughly 16.67%. That is my guess, my estimate. And again, they usually do this, around that third to last week of October. So, given that, this video will be released more than likely on October 11th, it could come anywhere between October, 16th to October 26th.
Yeah. Interesting, Lanny. I like it. I'm unfortunately not going to be quite as optimistic as Lanny. I'm still optimistic. However, I think they're going to break their spell of 5-cent dividend increases. That seems to be the way things are heading right now. I'm going to say their dividend increase is going to be either 3 cents a quarter or 4 cents a quarter, which gives us a range of 10% to 13%.
Okay. So you heard it there. Bert's saying 10 to 13%. I'm saying 16.67.
So Lanny, who's company number 2?
Well, you may be wearing some of this clothing. I know I may have a thing or two in my closet upstairs, but this is the company of VF Corp, ticker symbol VFC. And Bert, is this company a dividend aristocrat?
That they are.
I mean, the North Face, and they have a plethora of other brands. This company owns so many power, brand loyal brands out there that a lot of customers don't want to switch because of quality, what they're used to, and again, they've got that loyalty, and they see the trends within, the economy and within all different generations. So VF Corp, again, owns so many brands, it's not even funny. Yep. Now, their 5-year dividend growth rate is just under 9%, at a little over 8%, which obviously is very strong. Now, yes. Given the status of retail and clothing, expectations for me aren't as high right now. I don't know how you feel.
No, I feel the same way. One of the things I looked to when I was building this list was in their July earnings release. Things weren't the best for the company because they were dealing with the quarter from the pandemic. However, they said that cash flows are going to remain stable and things weren't looking terrible. That just doesn't give me a lot of optimism for a dividend increase going forward. Things not being bad doesn't translate to an 8 to 10% dividend increase for me. I'm thinking it's going to be much lower in the low single-digit percent.
That's interesting. So they currently pay a 48 cent per quarter dividend. So what do you think it's going to be, Bert, for VF Corp? What is this dividend stock going to do?
All right, I'm going to go, you like round numbers? I'm going to say they're going to increase it 2 cents. They're going to have it a 50-cent quarterly dividend going forward.
So what's interesting, and you'll find this out probably towards that last week of October. So Bert is saying it's going to increase 2 cents. I'm going to say it's going to increase no cents.
Ooh.
I'm not going to say they're breaking their streak or anything like that, but I will say that the way that it's looked at is that they still paid in total more than likely a dividend that's greater than prior years. So I'm actually going on the forefront by saying nothing. They keep it at 48 cents.
It's a bold prediction. I love it. I respect
Don't call me
it.
bold for nothing.
Is what they call you.
They call me the, never mind.
They call you the Guy Fieri of dividend increases with all those bold predictions right there.
They put the bowl in front of Lanny. They call me Bull Annie.
On that note, dividend stock number 3.
Who do we got here, Bert?
All right, let's travel down 71 north here from Cleveland.
We're going 71 south. We're going to Bert's alma mater.
Yeah.
The Ohio State.
And right next door to the Ohio State University, you have American Electric Power, AEP, ticker symbol, AEP. This has been one of my favorite electric utilities I own. I've had a few of them in my portfolio. Naturally, I also own Consolidated Edison, one of our top 5 foundation dividend stocks. But before I started adding them to my portfolio, I picked up AEP a long time ago. They are a electric powerhouse in the Midwest here. A lot of people in this great state use them as their utility. And I mean, we've talked about utility companies a lot here on this website. Despite everything else that's going along, you still have to use your electricity. You still have to plug things in, charge your phones, charge your laptops. It's a very stable, reliable industry, stable cash flows, which means a stable dividend.
You know, usually they increase, around that beginning to middle of that third week of October. Given it its utility, typically you're not looking at a large dividend growth rate. Currently they pay around 70 cents per share per quarter. Last year they increased from 67 cents to 70. In the year before that, they went from 62 to 67. 5 cents, 3 cents. Now, given the state of the economy and the global pandemic, I'm actually saying that they're going to increase it 2 cents.
Took the words right out of my mouth there, Lanny. I agree with you on that prediction. That would give us, a just under 3% increase in their dividend?
A little bit better than inflation.
Yep. But hey, we'll take it as dividend investors right now. So company number 4, this is going to be the highest yielding one on our list. Lanny, you wanna bring us home?
I am Iron Man. Please don't rewatch this video. But no, this goes out to Iron Mountain. They are ticker symbol IRM, and what they really are is a security, destruction, platform. They store, everything securely from the data electronic standpoint as well as physical storage standpoint. You've probably seen the Iron Mountain trucks in the boxes, in your place of work, your place of business, or on the highway.
Yeah, one of the companies I used to work for, you would walk in and you would just see boxes stacked up for Iron Mountain that would disappear every once in a while when they shipped it off to their data warehouses.
Now, the interesting part is that their stock has taken a massive beating because A, they're in the REIT space, B, we're in more of a paperless society, so there's a slight impact to their business model. So their yield has swelled up to well over 8%, and it could be even at 9% now. If you look at the stock price. However, they've had a consistent track record of growing their dividend. But given that they're at a high yield, what is that expectation coming into the month of October for a dividend increase? Yeah,
so based on some of the issues you've surfaced here, Lanny, I'm going to say my prediction is in line with you actually said for VFC. I'm going to say IRM's not increasing their dividend this quarter. They're going to break their streak. Doesn't mean they're not going to increase it this year. They're just going to kick the can down the road, in my opinion. There are a lot of headwinds facing them. I mean, also, if you think about it, working at that corporation, seeing all the paper in the building, that's not happening right now, too, because everyone's moving to remote work. So what do you think?
I'm going to go with a quarter of a penny increase.
Wait, are we talking about Realty Income or Iron Mountain?
You would think that we were talking about both. No, but in all honesty, a quarter of a penny, 0.25 cents. Not 1 cent, not half a cent, 0.25 cents. Why? Because I feel like they're still just gonna do it.
Hey,
that's my reason.
Hey, let's go with your gut here. I like it. I love it. So last, but definitely not least, we have company number 5 here, where we're expecting to increase their dividend in October. That company is Rockwell Automation, ticker symbol ROK.
Rockwell Automation, stock that you never bought.
No, I just got a random text message from Lanny one day that just said, "You'll never believe what company I guess." And sometimes when Lanny's doing this, he likes to play this game of, "Can you guess the company I purchased?" I probably went through 5 to 10 of them, went through our typical thing. I had no idea Rockwell Automation was even on his radar. So I didn't guess it. I just leave it as
a company that many have not even heard of, but they have built this nice, consistent track record of solid, dividend increases. They're not going to blow your socks off. ROK, the Rock, as I like to call them, they increase their dividend every year, usually by about 5 cents as their recent track record over the last few years. So they currently pay $1.02 per share per quarter. And, if you really think about them, they're probably in this pandemic phase as well. And I feel like everybody's kind of using that as their reason to not promote a stronger dividend growth rate. So given that they're at $1.02, I think they raise it 3 cents to $1.05. But what do you think?
Yep, I was going to say I'm right in line with you there. Their 5-year average was just under 10%. I don't think they're going to get there. They're going to do a smaller amount. So that's where I think an increase like that's in line. Their stocks performed well during the year. That I don't think that's instantly going to translate to a higher dividend.
So we're assuming and expecting a 3% dividend increase from Rockwell Automation, ROK, and you'll expect to see that really towards the very end of October, as they usually like to announce and do it. And it may even dip into November, it just really depends.
Yeah.
It's going to be those last 2 to 3 days of October or first 2 to 3 days of November.
So there it is. There we have it. The 5 companies that we're expecting to increase their dividend this month. Hopefully you enjoyed talking through these dividend increases as much as we do. As you can see, we have a blast talking about them. This is a window into how we talk about dividends every day.
And we want to hear your guesses.
Yeah.
We're going to have plenty of time before increases are going to be announced, so please leave them below.
Yeah.
And while you're leaving them, turn this up. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can see me make fun of Bert and Bert wear male Depends.
It's part of the channel. It's the experience you get.
It's all part of the experience. This is Bert and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.